Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. Welcome to Two Guns, Same Target. This is our inaugural podcast. We're going to give it a whirl and see what happens. I'm Chad.
Elliot.
Good to see you. So we're in day one of the lockdown here in the state of Washington, pretty much.
Yeah,
How are you handling this?
I'm losing my shit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
You staying busy?
I'm trying to.
Yeah. Are you staying home, though?
As much as I can.
How's that working out for you?
I mean, I still need to get out of the house, so I'll get out and drive around.
Yeah.
Do a little thing here and there. There's only very few places I'll go, though.
What did you think of the snow this morning?
To be honest, I was sleeping through most of it.
Oh, so you didn't see the snow?
I was driving home at about 1:30 last night.
Yeah.
And it started to snow. And then when I was actually out at my friend's house a little bit ago, I saw a Snapchat from Sarah from the golf course.
Yeah.
That it was big flakes out in Cheney.
It was completely...
about an hour ago. It was
again
dumping snow out in Cheney.
It was completely covered this morning when I woke up, and I thought,
the end of March.
You know what God is trying to say right now? If you fuckers won't stay home and quarantine yourselves, I'm going to make your decision for you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I figured. So I was actually kind of glad to see it. But
I mean, it's kind of a blessing in disguise in that regard. But
yeah, it is.
Keep everybody inside. I saw something earlier on Facebook that was like the CDC needs to tell everybody that they're going to email out a vaccine for the coronavirus to everybody in America within 2 weeks. So it's going to show up at different places every day. So everybody needs to stay home and wait for the vaccine to come in the mail. And then after the 2 weeks is up, then they'll start talking about how there's delays because there's so many people and stuff like that too. And I was like, that's, I mean, kind of shitty, but kind of a good idea at the same time.
So kind of like the old UPS, you have to stay home and sign for it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You have to be there.
There's still places that do that too.
Well, FedEx does.
Yeah.
I know at work, the FedEx guy came in a couple weeks ago, and I said, do I need to sign for this? And he started laughing. He goes, yeah, we're not UPS. So he actually said that. It was kind of funny.
That is funny. I like that.
So, sports are not going on right now, which usually get us through things like this and stuff. What's the sport you're missing the most right now?
Is it really that much of a question?
I know.
Especially with the Chiefs, man.
Yeah, local team on a roll in the going into the playoffs. And the season ends, and now we got word the other day that the season's actually canceled for the year.
Playoffs are done and everything.
There will be no Memorial Cup. Thank God for Kelowna, because they wouldn't have been a very good host. But
yeah, that would have been a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it would have not been good. So there's a little bit of a blessing there. But I feel bad for the teams that were hot. And, the 20-year-olds don't get to come back next year. They're going to move on to, maybe play in the AHL, the NHL, and things like that, too. I feel bad for those guys not getting to finish out the season.
Even all the younger guys in 18 or the 19-year-olds that aren't too good to play in the league.
Yeah.
The junior leagues, and they're going to make the move up to AHL like Ty Smith and stuff like that too. And I don't know. I'd like to think that Adam Beckman's coming back.
I think he'll be back.
But I saw that he signed the 3-year entry-level contract the other day with Minnesota. And he obviously can't play in the AHL.
Right.
So it'll have to be either juniors with the Chiefs or with Minnesota in the NHL.
He'll get his preseason and probably some early games up to 9 that they can play or something like that.
Yeah.
Before they have to make a decision with them.
I saw something on that signing tweet from Minnesota a couple days ago, and somebody commented saying that Beckman's NHL ready and stuff like that. He needs to be in the NHL now, and I was just thinking, like, he's a great scorer. He's a 110% offensive player.
Right.
But he needs to work on his back check and his defense a lot, and his speed and his size more so than anything.
There's no substitute for experience, no matter where he gets that before he moves out. But
he's still a little bit too small.
Yeah.
Like, in the regard of how scrawny he is.
Yeah,
he's
got to bulk up a little bit.
Yeah, he's got
we'll see
a little bit more muscle, but whatever.
Well, it's a shame that they're not going to be able to finish the season out, for sure. We are, obviously, as two hockey fans, missing hockey big time right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching a little bit of replays of old games from back in the late 90s, early 2000s and stuff, too. And it's been kind of fun to watch some of those, but I'd rather save that for the summertime when there's no other hockey.
Yeah, definitely. And hey, maybe we'll get to see some NHL playoffs in the summertime like they're talking about, possibly, too.
It helps that the Olympics have been canceled. A bummer that they have been, but that might make for some of these sports to continue their season and hopefully gets us a championships in.
And I know that some of the NHL teams have been reaching out to their arenas and stuff, too, about what their scheduling is like over the summer. Nice. And like I said the other day, a lot of the teams have all pretty much agreed that they're wanting to do that, play in the summertime if it comes down to it. And it becomes available and this virus stuff slows down and stuff too by then they're willing to do that summertime playoffs and then the camp in the fall and then the late start season like they did in the
just
lockout.
have a shortened season basically next year.
I read something about that.
Sounds like a pretty good tactic to go by, but
I don't know. I mean, summer hockey would be awesome, but this time of year sucks. This is the best time of year for sports. I mean, we got hockey, we got NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, WHL playoffs, March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness.
That's a fucking bummer, man.
Gonzaga University.
That's a fucking bummer.
Chance to finally play probably first round game in Spokane as the number 1 seed, and now they don't get to do that either after all this time of being so close to having kind of little home court advantage the first couple of rounds and stuff too. That's a big bummer.
It's a bummer. It sucks. I mean, I was really looking forward to going to the Garland Theater and watching March Madness and watching the Zags. And
yeah, if you have not done that and gone to a movie theater to watch March Madness before,
it is incredible.
It's pretty cool to watch it on a big screen with a group of people.
Absolutely.
But we can't do that now. 6 feet apart.
Yeah, 6 feet apart. Fuck, we're not doing very good
right now. If you ask some people, mainly females, I don't know. 6 feet?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, at least we're not coughing on each other.
This is true.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. So how are you where you stand on this whole coronavirus thing too? You think it's a good idea for us to stay at home and isolate ourselves for a while to slow it down?
At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
When this first started, as I'm sure you know, I was talking about how I thought everybody was overreacting to it,
right.
You know, and in some senses I still do, but the virus itself, with how contagious it is, it's better just to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
At this point,
yeah.
But I'm not concerned about you or I per se because we're typically normally healthy people, and we don't get sick very often in general. So when we had that cold about a month ago, you know, it's the first time I've gotten sick in 2 or 3 years.
Right, me too.
So I mean, when we get it bad.
That kind of scares me in a sense, but
yeah, but it doesn't happen very often, which is a good thing for us, I guess.
Well, let's just cross our fingers and stay home as much as possible. Golf courses are closed now too, so
I bet you're thankful for that.
I am pretty thankful at this point. A lot of people were pretty good with things when we opened up for a few days as far as keeping their distance and stuff too. And then there's a handful of people that were just oblivious and had no clue. And probably put a lot of people in jeopardy if they happen to be people that are carrying any kind of germs or anything too. And so I think in the long run, it's probably a good thing at this point.
2 week minimum.
2 week minimum. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. I'm hoping that with the statewide shutdown, it'll kind of wake people up a little bit because I don't think it doesn't go into effect until tonight, right?
Midnight tonight, midnight tonight, which is Wednesday, the 25th of March. So
today's the 25th.
Today's the 25th.
So it'll go into effect on the 26th.
Technically,
midnight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Starting midnight on,
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, people hunker down, just stop hoarding all the groceries and shit. That's the most annoying part. Like, shit, I was even driving out today, coming up here, and I see the Walmart and Safeway parking lot right there is just filled with fucking cars. There's no parking spots anywhere.
They say, and truckers have been saying this for the last couple of days, if people would just back off for a couple of days and let the supply chain get back in order, and if people would just do their normal grocery shopping and buy their normal things like they always do, and just as if there's no kind of epidemic out there and any reason to panic, things would be just fine. But
exactly. Well, and then when I was listening to James's interview the other day, or his conference about the statewide shutdown, he mentioned something like people were to just go out and grocery shop like you normally do, everything would be fine. Yeah. But then you have these assholes that are out here hoarding all the toilet paper and hand sanitizer and then jacking up the price and selling them online. It's like, go fuck yourself.
And do you know what they're doing with those people? All the big chain stores like Costco and stuff, those people can't return those
things. Which is
things.
Great.
I talked to a guy that works at Costco the other day and said somebody came in and bought a pallet and a half, and I can't remember of what it was exactly. I don't remember if it was hand sanitizer. It wasn't toilet paper, but something about 2 weeks ago, and bought it. And they've already flagged him and told him, you're not bringing that back, because they caught him trying to sell it and for a profit.
Is that ridiculous?
Too. Yeah.
It makes me so fucking mad.
I'm glad the big corporation or big chains or stores and stuff are nailing these people.
And what about the fact that a lot of the big stores are doing for shopping early in the morning for elderly people too?
I love that.
Which is, like an hour or two in the morning every couple days, which I think that's fucking awesome. It's a great idea because, elderly people are obviously the most immunocompromised.
Right.
So there's not a bad thing, I don't think.
It makes me happy to hear that they started doing that. I wish they would have done that from the get-go. Nobody really thought about that, but I'm glad they saw a need pretty quick. So that's been good. So what else have you been doing to pass your time? Two new Netflix shows came on with two of our favorite comedians in the last week.
And I've binge watched both of them
How many times have you watched Bert Kreischer's?
I've watched Bert's twice.
Twice?
I've watched Bert's twice, and I watched Tom's twice.
I've watched each of them once. I finally watched... Oh, I did finally watch it. It just came out yesterday. Tom Segura's yesterday. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. That guy's my favorite comedian.
Shit was so funny.
How lucky were we to get to see him here in Spokane, too?
Was that over a month ago?
Yeah, end of February. That was pretty cool.
21st.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm glad we got to see that, but I have never laughed so hard in my life.
God, there was this couple things we were talking about earlier before we started recording. I was dying at some of those jokes. Like, I was laying in bed last night watching it, and I almost pissed myself laughing at some of that shit.
Well, that's kind of what prompted us to do this thing, too. They're Two Bears, One Cave podcast. We kind of went with the two guns, same target, being that our last name is Gunn, and we kind of view things a lot of the same way, so kind of that same target idea and stuff, too. So I wonder if we'll ever get a shout-out on their podcast or any of their pages or anything, cool, too, for kind of following in their footsteps a little bit.
Either that or copying them and they fucking roast our asses.
Oh, that could be too. Yeah, we might be part of a future episode of Two Bears, One Cave. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting.
Make some enemies. Who knows?
Well, frenemies.
Frenemies,
yeah. Because I think they would probably appreciate
the idea.
But they could roast the hell out of us.
Oh, yeah. Which is fine.
No, I'd be totally good with that. That would be great.
There's nothing wrong with getting roasted.
Not at all.
Feels good sometimes.
Sometimes.
It humbles you.
Yeah, it does. And if we can't use humor right now to get through what's going on in the world, I don't know if we'd make it. So
no, I don't know what the hell else we're going to do. I mean, other than sit on our ass and play Xbox like we have been. So.
No, we will do that anyway, even when we're not going through this. But
I mean, yeah, but it helps you pass the time. With everybody out of work, more people are online playing.
True.
Fun to play with all the boys.
Yeah, I just hope we don't get that Squirts hockey team again. Those guys are assholes.
Oh, yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, those guys are assholes.
Yeah. Big time.
I would
assholes.
be good if I did never come across them again.
Yeah, they're the only people in the world that I hope gets coronavirus.
No, I don't really wish that on them. But...
Well, I do. I hope they recover, but I hope they get it, and I hope they suffer.
Well, I just hope it keeps them off Xbox for a while.
I don't think it will. I think it'll be keeping them inside.
I hope their Xbox gets a virus.
Okay, there you go.
How about that?
Yeah. Bring back the Red Ring of Death in the 360 days.
Yeah, Xbox 360 days.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Be great. If anybody deserved it, it would be those guys.
Yeah, those guys are fucking assholes.
Yeah, they're kind of,
Like, you're going to report somebody's name on a video game?
I know.
It wasn't even that bad.
No, it wasn't.
It's ridiculous.
They're just petty. They're probably like 7, which makes it even more embarrassing that they beat us all the time. But
yeah. Well.
Can you tell we're a little bit salty?
Yeah.
I mean, these guys beat us 75% of the time, but whatever.
Now we just sit in the party and waste their time. And wait
then
30
back
seconds
out.
And back out.
Back out and don't play them, which I feel like we're kind of the bigger people and we win at that point.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they kind of stopped sending us messages too, so.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good, because I really don't want to be their friend.
I don't either.
So.
I don't know. It's crazy times.
It's crazy times. We're going to get through it, though. How often do you think we should do these podcasts? Like once a week, or?
Yeah. I'd say once a week. Maybe do it a little bit longer. If we decide that we like to do it and stuff too, and
get a topic going,
get a reaction, and
maybe we should have people comment on this video and send us ideas on things we should talk about.
That's a good idea.
If people want to send that in to us, maybe we can talk about pet peeves one episode, or
I could name off a ton.
Oh, I could too, but I'm just throwing ideas out there too. Maybe our favorite NHL teams. Obviously, we're kind of repping those now. Mm-hmm. But we can talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about. About golf.
We could always talk sports.
We could talk about people and people that suck.
Yeah. I could name off a fucking ton of people. Yeah. I won't use names, obviously.
No, I can't. I can't do that. So
I won't do that. But we'll hint at things.
Okay.
There's asshole people out there everywhere. So
there is. Well, let's see how this first episode kind of reaction it gets from people and stuff too, and maybe we'll do another one of these next week. What do you think?
I'm good with that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
at least one.
At least one more.
Yeah. Or at least one a week.
At least one a week? Okay. Yeah, so I like that idea. Yeah. If we're quarantined and kind of inside, we might have to do more often.
There's very few places I'm going the next couple of weeks. Yeah. And this and my house are two of the places.
There you go. So, okay. Well, we'll figure it out.
That works for me.
All right. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for bringing the audio equipment.
Of course.
And the video equipment.
I'm hoping that we can get this sound to sound good.
I'm hoping I hit record on that thing.
I'm hoping you did too.
So anyway, we'll find out.
If we just record the audio, then I guess we'll just do the audio for this episode.
But that would work too, I guess. Yeah. We do at least have the audio going.
Yeah, that's very true.
All right. Well, until next time.
6 feet apart.
All right, later.